right. Good afternoon, everyone. It's afternoon here in Aizu Wakamatsu, where I am currently located, obviously. Um, it's Saturday the 26th. I'm doing a first time live broadcast on Periscope on Twitter. And I'm also simultaneously recording it on my laptop for my podcast to be broadcasted later. Well, yeah, to be put on my podcast later on. This is a little bit out of the ordinary. Usually, I do these out for a walk podcasts episodes where I just take the microphone and the computer, go outside for a walk, and record my thoughts and tell stories and whatever, and just put it on my podcast. But this time I'm actually doing two things at once. I'm recording this podcast, and I have the phone on live on my Twitter page, where I have Periscope open. And so if there are any interactions there, I will obviously talk to the people there as well. They can't see me for now they can't see me, but I can always tilt the camera in a way that they're able to see me. But now you just see on top of a couple of cars here on the parking lot I'm at a store called Yoku Manimaru, a grocery store here in Japan, in Aizu Wakamatsu, waiting for my next gig. I'm working today. I have 2 gigs today, and like I said, I already had one before in another place called Fukushima in Fukushima Prefecture. The should I say infamous Fukushima. Fukushima didn't really do anything wrong, but obviously Fukushima was in the news quite often 10 years ago. No, wait, it was 9 years ago. What am I talking about? 9 years ago, after the big earthquake, after the all that radiation BS that happened afterwards. But here I am now in Aizu Wakamatsu, a very well-known place actually in Japan, I would say. A lot of hot springs here. Quite a lot of hot springs, very nice hot springs. I think a lot of you would enjoy the hot springs here, especially the accommodations, the hotels. They're pretty good, pretty classy. A very nice place. So yeah, the reason I was thinking about, should I do a out for a walk episode here in Aizu Wakamatsu, but I'm not really dressed for it, nor I can't trust the weather. It seems like it's been it's not raining now, but I've seen a couple of drops now here and there, so who knows, it might rain again later on. There was a typhoon yesterday that hit, it already had hit southwest coast of Japan a couple of days ago, but now it was here in the northeast, and it was raining cats and dogs. I wonder where that came from. Raining cats and dogs. First of all, why is it raining those 2 animals? Why cats and dogs? And why would that mean it's raining a lot? Why would that mean a heavy rain? If anyone knows that, I would love to get a feedback on that. But, well, probably nobody knows. Or maybe someone knows but doesn't care about telling, isn't interested in sharing the information. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna have to work later, like after like I have to leave this place and get myself ready an hour later. So instead of just going out for a walk, I can just stay in the car. I have the mic with me and the computer. I have free time until before the gig starts. And I also have my phone. I have Twitter and I have Periscope. So why not try that? Even though, in the end there might no one might be watching the Periscope, but I'm still keeping it as an option for today. Who knows if someone pops up on the Periscope and wonders why I'm here and I wonder why I'm recording this now. What on earth is going on? Why is the man wearing a suit, wearing a tie? Why is he recording a podcast from his car? Well, I mean, yeah. So this one will not be. I will not. This one. This episode will not be part of the Out for a Walk series. I'm just gonna call it a live episode. The first ever live JLR episode. Then that episode will later on be available on the podcast network. Available on Spotify, iTunes, and even YouTube. So accessible almost anywhere. So anyways, I don't know if I should move this around. I don't want to tinker too much with the camera. I've kind of set it up here at a nice spot because I can't use the front camera because I broke the cover on front of the phone right around where the camera is, the front camera. And it looks very weird, foggy if I put on the front camera. I can't, if I turn the back camera facing me, I won't be able to see the screen. So yeah, maybe I should have gotten that fixed before I started doing a live broadcast here with Periscope. But why not? Why not try it? I have nothing better to do until I actually have to do something, until I actually have to work. I hope I'm not moving the mic too much. I hope I'm not making too many sounds when I'm touching the mic. The gain is, I'm probably doing that because I'm not listening to the recording this time. I'm listening to the phone. Maybe I should be listening to the recording as well. Well, too bad if there's a lot of noises coming from the mic. Well, that's because I'm fooling around with it. Mishandling it. No, maybe not like that, but yes. Anyways, so it's not too hot anymore here. I find myself talking about the weather. But yeah, why have I become that man? Why does the weather interest me? Maybe because I have actually 4 seasons here. I've actually talked about that before. The true 4 season plus the rainy season in Japan. But the humidity, I just like, now it's actually cooler than before, but still that goddamn humidity, 75%, it's not good for you. I think if over 50 is not good. So you want to keep it somewhere between 30 and 50, right? Under 30 would be pretty dry, I suppose. Then again, I have no idea. Is it is it too dry that way? Sorry if I'm bumping the mic. I will try to keep it steady as much as possible. So maybe I should move the camera a little bit just to give you people, if I think the Periscope video will stay on the Twitter page forever. It's not gonna go away. There it goes. That was the camera support. It was an empty Pepsi bottle. I know I'm on a diet, but today I'm far away from home. I'm not able to cook for myself, or or anything like that. So let's see. There's a Denny's here. Denny's is an American restaurant, right? That's an American restaurant chain. It has to be. I've heard it so many times before, Denny's, even before living in Japan. So, and that's the store Yokobenimare. It's all over the place. Do we have something over there? Thank you. That's a laundrette. That's a British name. Laundry. And there's also the cleaners over there. And there's a bakery inside as well. Yes. Pretty typical. Around a grocery store like that, there's usually a lot of other extra things. Is this what they call like a... What is it called? Not a shopping mall, but more like a... I should know this. I can't think of it. What do you call it when it's all outside in one big parking lot? Damn it. I should know this. Well, never mind. I do not know for the moment. It might come up later, but that's just going to be pointless then, because I might be already done recording, and it happens all the time. I need the information now. It won't come. My brain will just refuse to find it, and then once I've stopped thinking about it, then the answer will pop up. It's basically how things have been in my life. Very, very, very weird, I should say. I wonder, there's not a lot of... Let me see here. If I can put this... No, nobody can see anything then. Okay. I'm gonna have to figure out how to put up the camera again. Maybe I have to put the mic away before I continue. This is not maybe very exciting to listen to afterwards, because now it's all I'm all focused. I don't want to be, recording the guy over there. He might think I'm a stalker. I'm not a stalker, sir. I'm just trying to do a live broadcast here from this parking lot, but you're kind of in the way, so you were caught on camera. But you'll probably never know what happened. Yaitsa Rautsa. I see. Well, no Periscope activity yet, so maybe I'll just... Wait a second, I'll just put the put it back up. And hopefully get that Pepsi bottle again over here to help keep the phone up. This is so technical. Or not. I don't think it was. I probably didn't do it that way. Unprofessional. Nothing but unprofessional. Okay, that's the way it was, I think. So, here I am, waiting for my next gig. The gig where I tell two young people how they should treat each other for the rest of their lives. And then they can kiss. I don't have to explain that more, I suppose. I think you already know what kind of a gig that is. Do you take her? Do you take him? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Great, you're now officially... Let me see. I'm still trying to mess up with the phone here. This is probably gonna... The phone is probably gonna drop down. Yeah. There's no focus here now. I'm trying to look at the phone and the live Periscope, and I'm also looking at the computer where I'm trying to record this podcast. completely out of focus. It's actually, all the podcasts have kind of been that way. All of the going out for a walk podcast, I'm just rambling about stuff, and then I find myself distracted by something, and then I just go onto the next subject, and then again and again, just go looping around. I say looping around as in going through loops, and like, I don't know if it's a real expression or not, but F it, I used it. How funny is this? I've just noticed now that I am much better at not cursing in English. I've noticed that recently. I think it's because I use it as my professional tool. It is my part of my job to use the English language, so I have trained myself to make sure I'm not cursing all the time. But my Icelandic, it's been completely unchecked for 9 years. I already talked about this as well on the Icelandic podcast, and I cannot stop cursing. And I think it's just because no one's here to like look at me funny or tell me not to, or I mean, you can only imagine how it is. Like, let's just say, I don't know. This is probably a really bad example for English speakers, because no matter where you are in this world, if you start cursing in English, everyone knows. Everyone knows you're cursing. Well, let's say, all right. Let's say let's say you're German. You're somewhere far away, or Italian, and you're in one of those countries where there's no relation to the language, like you're in Thailand, or you're in India or somewhere. And if you really curse in those languages, but without maybe making you look yourself angry, you're just calmly cursing, then nobody would care. Nobody would notice, and if there's no one there to look at you funny or say something, and you can just do it all day, then obviously in the end you'll just start cursing like it's no problem. Until 9 years later, you decide to make a podcast, and you start to broadcast, and one of the first comments you get is, "Why do you curse so much?" And then I find myself trying to not curse as much as usual, but wow, that actually was hard. But now it's so funny. It's already almost 20 minutes, and no problem. I'm able to make sure I'm not cursing in English. Although I said I don't want to be like completely get rid of the curse words. I'm willing to use them, like especially for jokes, when they're needed. Although there are obviously some words that are absolutely an absolute no-no, and I don't think I want to talk about that. That's just a way too heated subject, I suppose. Yeah. Speaking about heat, because the air conditioner is not on, it's starting to get hot. But I don't want to turn on the engine because, well, there's the pollution thing and all that. But it's also just going to be noisy. No one's going to be able to hear anything. Nothing at all. I'm pretty sure this Periscope will be available on the Twitter timeline, but I don't think I'll just keep it there on the Twitter timeline. Twitter timeline? What the hell is that? Twitter timeline. But the actual podcast will go all over the place as usual. But yeah, I haven't really thought about a name. Maybe just the JLR Podcast Network live show. I think that's a very standard name. Just there's nothing special about this. This is just a live show that I'm doing on a certain platform that is also being recorded and will later be published on the podcast. So I'm just basically I'm doing a podcast now, talking about my podcast and how I'm going to conduct my podcast on my podcast. This is a really meta conversation. I was hoping for someone on Periscope. Bring me some topics. Give me something to talk about. Come on, man. Anything at all. Wait, I didn't do this, didn't I? I didn't. Let me see. Invite guests. Of course, no one is asked to join. Okay, I'll do that. Your viewers have been invited to join. Have they? Or have they not? I have no idea. Sorry, old lady, you're in the picture now. I didn't mean to put you on the internet, but the internet was in your way, so tough luck. She basically just strolled in front of the camera for those who are just listening. Yeah. I wonder. Look. No, you can't see it, but Periscope people, you can see it. It's starting to rain. See, this is why I didn't go out for a walk, because 20 minutes in, it started to rain, and I would have had to like retreat or stop doing the podcast. So I think I took the correct decision. Live podcast it is. Do it in your car. Make sure you're not getting wet. Make sure you don't get this really nice microphone wet. If you're wondering what kind of a microphone I'm using, it's the Blue Yeti Nano. And I honestly, it's great quality. I'm usually always using, every time I record a podcast, it's always around 65 gain that I'm using it on. And there are two options, recording options. There is the pattern is two options are. There's one at the front of the mic, and then like if you can hear me now, I'm talking to the front of the mic, and now if I turn the mic around, you won't hear me as well until it goes all the way around again, and now I'm back here in front of the mic. Now then there is the 360 recording. So if I just push this button here, bum bum, now you can hear the sound is a little bit different, but I'm turning the mic around, and when I'm turning this mic around, it should not really affect how strong my voice is now, because it's the same. It doesn't matter. This distance is the same from each side of the mic. But then if I push the button again, now I'm back here at the front of the mic, and it's obviously a better sound now. So what a nice podcast. I'm giving you now, not only am I talking about how my podcasts are going to be like in the future, I'm actually giving you the inside info on my microphone as well. The inside info, like it's that special. It's not really that special, is it? God damn it. Why is it raining? Well, it doesn't really bother me here inside the car, but you know, I don't want to be walking like if it starts to rain heavily. I don't think I have an umbrella or a raincoat or anything like that. The parking lot from my workplace is pretty far away, so that's going to be annoying. Well, let's give it a at least 30 more minutes, see how things work out in the end. I'm not gonna, like, I looked at the clock. I have to be there by 3:30. It's like 2:37 now, and the plan was not to at least leave this parking lot before like 3:10 or 3:15 or something. So this is like I said, I'm mainly doing this for the live broadcast, but this is also going to be a podcast. But I don't want to stay here for too long. I don't want to take any risks. So this doesn't have to be the usual 1 hour. It actually, honestly, I can probably cut this much shorter than an hour. Especially if there's no one there to come and talk with me with a different topic. Actually, yeah, because I don't want to. I kind of wanted a live feedback here rather than me doing the same kind of skit with the Out for a Walk podcast, which is just me, talking about me, and all the things I'm thinking about. Me. That's a complete me podcast. At least the other episodes, watch this. Then you actually have someone with me, and we're actually having a conversation about stuff. And in that case, it's about films. And then, well, I might be releasing some comedy stuff later on, but not. It might not be in English. Some of it might be in Icelandic. Then I might even release some music, but not all of it might be in English. It might be in Japanese. So I have, I guess I have several ideas. So I'm not gonna count this. Like I said, I'm not gonna count this as a Out for a Walk episode. I will count. It will just be a live podcast show, and then, because it will not be counted as a Out for a Walk episode. That means I still haven't done the latest English version, which is the next one up, because I just finished doing the Icelandic one a couple of days ago, and I'm gonna keep doing them in that order: Icelandic, English, and then Japanese, and back to Icelandic, and then English and Japanese, and so on and so forth. I wonder if I would just say Lakers talk on Twitter. Maybe everyone would join that. But I just said I'm here in Aizu Wakamatsu, free for a live broadcast, but I didn't really give out any topics. But my Twitter feed it's basically Lakers fans and then Halo fans and Xbox fans. It's just like I've surrounded myself with all just the things that I like in life. There's the occasional something different, a Bee Gees fan site, because I quoted the Bee Gees some time ago, or actually I honestly look like one of the Bee Gees now. My hair, I've never had this long hair before. And I would show you, but like I said, the front camera is pretty bad. And if I use the back camera, then I can't see what's in front of me, what's on the screen. And I'm not really, it doesn't really matter unless there's someone there to actually see me. But I'll take pictures when I'm a little bit lighter. I'm still on my diet, as the Japanese say, diet chew, like in the middle of that. At the start of this podcast, the very first episode was the first Icelandic Out for a Walk episode, Utealappa. I think I was over 100 kilograms, right? 101 maybe. And this morning, I was 97.2. So that's at least almost 4 kilograms. So getting there. That Corona extra weight is it's going off one by one, I suppose. 1 kilogram by the week, maybe. Which is actually, I read somewhere the normal pace should be half a kilogram per week. You should not be forcing yourself to lose more than that. Like it's the way it's considered healthy is when you do it gradually, which is I mean it's perfectly understandable. You kind of just like, for me, it's just like, just eat 80% of what you ate before, and skip the sugary stuff like soda and stuff like that, candy, You can allow them. Then I have I call them green days, because red days are the days I can't have the bad stuff, but the green days are the ones that I've lost that much. I can allow myself to eat the sweet stuff. And I mean, honestly, it works out. It kind of works out like how you were when you were younger. I mean, it was always candy day. We call it candy day, namiddagur, I guess so. Sweets day, or candy day. It was always on Saturdays, and it's kind of the same pattern for me. I have red days during the week, and then like green days around the weekend. Sometimes in the middle of the week, but usually that is the pattern. It's not. It's occasionally 2 times per week, but usually just once. Like I'll have to wait. I'll have to wait either 4 or 5 days for it, depending on how much I lost. And like I said, I'm not really. This is no serious. I did fasting once, and honestly, I don't really want to do it any time again soon. It did work, but sure as hell came back. But now I'm actually, because I'm working out, I don't want to be fasting. I think it's I think that's ridiculous. I can just lower the amount, exercise more, and stay away from bad stuff. Make sure I have enough protein in the morning and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, I've had these successful diets now at least 3-4 times in my life, where I did it. I lost 10 kilograms. And then, I made it here, so now I can do whatever I want. And then all of a sudden, half a year later, I was like, what? I'm fat again? Of course, you just stopped. You didn't care anymore. How do I keep caring? How does one keep yourself in check? It's always there's that time period where you start, it's okay. It's okay this week if I just allow myself to eat whatever I want. And then it comes, it's okay next week as well. And then I stop looking at the weight. You stop checking yourself. Like I kind of, I mean, I don't want to, after this diet, the idea of always daily checking your weight is, absurd. I don't want to be doing it every morning. But then again, you have to keep yourself in check. So maybe at least during the end of the week, every Sunday or something, just make sure, okay, did I eat way too much this week or something, and then you can respond to that. If it's too high, then do something about it. Take a week off then from all the bad stuff and exercise more, and go for more walks and record your podcast while you're walking. That is how I imagine it. Should I start moving the camera around? I mean, actually now it's not really. I mean, you can see outside the window, but it's obviously because it's raining. You just see raindrops, a bunch of raindrops on the windshield, so, and on the windows, so, side windows. You might even hear the rain if I stop talking. If you just listen, I think the mic. The podcast mic. So this is not the live Periscope mic. I think my live Periscope audio is coming. It's coming through the what's the name of the goddamn thing? the Bluetooth headset that I have, and I know the quality is not good. The video quality, honestly, the audio quality is not going to be that good on it. So. Maybe it's not even worth having the video up there if you can't really hear my voice. Instead, I mean, honestly, it would be better than to just cut the video out, cut the audio out of the video, and just re-release it with the recording from the mic. What I want to be able to do eventually, like in Faulty Towers. If you haven't seen Faulty Towers, no matter what. Try get the DVD, find it out somewhere online. I know there's been this like it's no longer available at some streaming service, or was it no longer available on BBC or something because it's outdated. It's not PC, or it's like, will you just get it anywhere where it is? It's the funniest thing ever. It's a masterpiece by John Cleese, and oh, this is terrible. I should know her name. She plays Polly. What's her name? See, now everyone is going to think I'm a sexist because I know John Cleese's name, but I don't know the name of the actress who played Polly. I should know it because I remember thinking it was really cool. Oh, she is the co-writer with John Cleese. Those two. So she definitely deserves the credit. And then, you know, you're such a misogynistic person. You don't remember her name. It actually is pretty bad. I should know her name. Polly. I mean, that's her character's name. But yes, she is also one of the brains behind the Faulty Towers. And oh boy, are those episodes funny. And yeah, the eventually thing. That's Manuel. I guess, is he also completely like out of date, like having an Englishman pretend he's Spanish from Spain? Like, if that's the case, if that's also not okay, I don't think that's the main thing that I think people are angry for. The episode where what was it? He like that old colonel. He used the N-word or something, but he was an old guy when old guys were saying racist shit like that. Oh, I cursed. But I mean, obviously, you're not supposed to feel like he's, you're not supposed to feel like that's the right thing of him to say. You're supposed to think, oh God, that old doddering fool. Why is he using that word? But yeah. Honestly, it's. But would people consider Manuel out of date? Like, you couldn't do that character again. You couldn't have. Actually, I saw something about who was it? Rob Schneider. Did he play he played an Asian character in that movie about two gay guys trying to marry each other for insurance money. And that was supposed to be offensive, but isn't he like half Asian? Like half Filipino or something? It's so weird. I mean, there are some things that are considered so offensive. Andy Rooney in no, wait, what's the name of the guy in Breakfast for Tiffany's? Was Andy Rooney, right? Why am I doubting myself? Anyways, played a Japanese landowner. It was just ridiculous. Like, obviously, it was way out of the blue how he portrayed that Japanese stereotype. It was a really bad portrayal of a Japanese person. But yet again, I'm able to. I mean, obviously, I'm not Japanese. My wife is Japanese, and it's goddamn silly, for sure. But like, really that offensive? I mean, there's some. I have a Japanese American friend who thought it was really offensive, and then I have the Japanese wife who said like it's just kind of stupid, but like really offensive. Didn't really cross her mind. I mean, what the Japanese find offensive, more offensive, are like jokes about Hiroshima. Like, that was cut out of a Grand Tour episode on Amazon.co.uk. Not UK. What am I talking about? .co.jp, the Japanese version of Amazon Prime. And we were watching the episode, and all of a sudden, I think it was James May, got bleeped out. They were talking about Detroit. He said this is the worst. This is the fastest that a city has crumbled in world history. They were talking about the collapse of the Detroit, motor industry and just everything in Detroit. How just that city that was like on the king of the world, really, like in the 50s and 60s and somewhere around that. I mean, around Motown time and stuff like that. And now it's just a wasteland at some parts of some parts of the city. So, it's like wandering through a wasteland. But anyways, that was the statement, and the joke was, well, what about Hiroshima? Obviously referring to the atomic bomb. And it was just bleeped up, like boop, and I was like, but nobody was really laughing or looked shocked. And then, who said Krakatoa? One of them said that. Oh, Pompeii said something like that. And I was like, wait a second, why is that not bleep? What did James May say before? Like, didn't make any sense. The reaction wasn't, like, they weren't really reacting that shocked about being bleeped, and the audience wasn't really that shocked, laughing a little bit. But then I started to get suspicious. Like, okay, that might have been editing on behalf of the Japanese, because I'm watching the Japanese Amazon Prime. I go on YouTube to try to find the same scene, and what do you know? I find it, and there is James May saying Hiroshima. So that part was cut out of the Japanese version. No, they're not even going to try to put it out there. They immediately, the people behind, putting that show on Amazon JP, immediately decided we're not even going to try to keep it there. It's going to be super offensive, so we're taking that joke out. So the Japanese definitely, they can feel, some offense at times. And there was another Amazon Prime show where they were talking about, it was something to do with the Hiroshima bombing, and some controversial views on it. And that episode actually, that I think got cut out too from the Japanese Amazon Prime option, the Japanese version of Amazon Prime. So, but that's more. That's not really comedy, though. Well, I mean, that was a poor taste joke, I suppose. But I mean, I'm not gonna get offended. Obviously, I don't really get offended about anything. But then again, I'm not the guy who should be getting offended, because there's nothing that there's nothing that should offend me. I really don't want to be talking about it, but I sometimes see things like, making fun of nationalities and stuff like that. Like, it's been going on for so long, then all of a sudden certain people cannot make fun of certain nationalities. Like, wait, what? I just watched a video with Peter Sellers doing the salty Swedish sailor in the Pink Panther movie. It's freaking hilarious. It's so freaking funny. And I think the Swedes wouldn't, obviously, they don't care. Honestly, they should be just glad that someone knows about Sweden. That's kind of a pun. I'm kind of making fun of the Swedes. Obviously, they're pretty famous for their famous actors and music. But still, though, who hasn't made fun of the Swedes? God, there's that damn Muppet, the Swedish Chef. And he's just, it's complete gibberish. He actually sounds more Norwegian, if you're wondering. It's actually his cadence and stuff like the way he says a couple of words. He is actually more Norwegian than Swedish, but I think the Swedish call him the Danish chef. Although I don't know why there's nothing Danish about it. If he was a Danish chef, oh boy, that would be a horrible character. Yeah, skal fløne første flø. You skulle flø. See, that's how I imagine the Danish chef. Obviously, we Icelanders, we love to make fun of the Danish because, well, they oppressed us for many years. We were their colony, and they treated us like shit. But they actually let us go pretty easily as well, so we didn't have to worry about them. Like when we didn't really revolt, but when we decided we wanted to become our own independent society, it was pretty. In the end, it was pretty easy to become independent. I mean, yeah, a sovereign state. That happened pretty actually when we started to fight for it. Took some time. Maybe it took some time, but in the end, it was pretty easy. No revolution needed. No bloody. It's not like Ireland. Oh my God. We didn't have tanks coming into a soccer match and then I should probably say football match because I'm talking about the UK. You didn't have tanks coming into soccer matches and then shooting at people. I don't even. I honestly, is that real? What's the name of the film? Michael Collins? No, the Irish. He was one of the revolution in the Irish Revolution, right? One of the. God, Liam Neeson played him. No, it's my memory again. Michael Collins, right? Something like that. It's not Michael Phelps. That's the swimmer. Michael Collins. Nothing's coming up on the Periscope. Anyways, but yeah, that looked really bad. And then there's a scene with who was it? Wasn't it? He just passed away. Snape. Is it Al? No, not Alan Arkin. Oh my God, I can't remember anything anymore. It was Hans Gruber. What's his name? Come on, I should know this. Snape, Hans Gruber. Everyone's screaming at the screaming out loud now when they're hearing this. His name is oh my God, why do I keep Alan Arkin? No, that's a different actor. God damn it. This is the worst one yet. Of all the moments where throughout all the other episodes, trying to remember something and I can't remember, my brain just stops. Severus Snape, Hans Gruber. His name is Alan. No, right. Alan Arkin is a different actor, right? That's a completely different actor. He's the guy who was he won the Oscar for, was it Little Miss Sunshine or something? He's been in many. Did he play Gorbachev in some film, or was it Khrushchev? No. He played a Soviet guy. No, it was a play. It wasn't a film. He was in a theater play. He talked about it. Yeah, I remember. I was watching. Yeah, I was just listening to his podcast on Gilbert Gottfried, and that was Alan Arkin. Yeah, that's a completely different actor. This bothers the hell out of me. I'm sorry, live Twitter, Periscope. I'm taking over the phone. I have to Google his name. This is embarrassing. Let's find out real quick. What was his name? His name was Alan Rickman. Oh. And I'm off. Did I just go off? Oh, no, wait. I'm still live, right? Oh, no. Oh, wait. I think the Periscope is stopped. Wait. Did I just stop the Periscope? I think I've just stopped the Periscope. Let's see. Let's go back to my profile. First ever JLR podcast Periscope. It probably... something went wrong. Please try again. Yeah, I think that's the end of the Periscope. Well, in that case, maybe I should just end this podcast as well. Because if I'm no longer on the Periscope, then it's probably... yeah, the broadcast is not available. It's over. Done. Finished. Okay. I was talking about Alan Rickman for some reason. I don't know. I already forgot that. Something to do with... wow. Now I might have to stop this broadcast and just look back and what was I saying about Alan Rickman? Why was I thinking about his name? Now I can't remember that small fact. That was like 5 minutes ago, and that conversation is already poof gone away. So this has been a colossal failure. Well, it's worth a try. I had nothing better to do, so at least I've killed time. You know what? I'll probably just listen to this podcast later on, and then, yes, I was talking about that, and then I'll just continue with that conversation on my next Out for a Walk episode, which will be in English because I do not count this. Will not be counted as a Out for a Walk episode. This was a special live broadcast episode, and it was on Periscope. But it's already finished on Periscope because I went off Twitter to see what Alan Rickman's name was because I forgot it. How embarrassing. That's really embarrassing. I'm so sorry. Let's see. Here's the video. I see the video. You can hear. I see the video now here on Twitter. So, but I'm not able for some reason. Okay, it still says live. That doesn't make any sense. There's nothing live about it. Maybe I should just restart my phone. I'll just restart it. Anyways, so that's it for this live podcast episode, which will be now. Also available on the podcast sites, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, all of them. And so this was the first JLR Podcast Network live episode. And I'll just call it that. The JLR Network Podcast live episode number 1 in Aisuvakamat. And I'll probably because it's a different episode, I need a better I need just a different soundtrack, a different intro. I'll figure something out. I'll find something cool, something that feels live. It sounds really cheesy. All right, that's it for today. I'm off. I have to work soon. But this was pretty successful. Almost an hour. I said it didn't have to be an hour because it's not one of those regular episodes. But I almost went for the full hour. Although I completely forgot what I was talking about in the end. Like I was like, something about Alan Rickman, but I couldn't remember his name. And then I stopped the live broadcast, and then I checked the Twitter handle, and it was like, not checked, Googled his name, found Alan Rickman, but then I forgot, why was I Googling his name? What was I talking about Alan Rickman? It'll be really funny when I listen to this podcast again and find out, I was talking about that. What a completely dumb mother. Yeah, okay, you know what? I'm not going to curse too much, like I said. Anyways, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this live broadcast. And until next time, you guys take care. Stay in touch. Bye-bye.